Fire. Do we know who invented fire? Without a doubt, discovering fire, I think, is the biggest turning point of our humanity. It was a boy or a girl? Well, I think it was a teenager. Honestly, these young minds are so passionate and so stubborn, and they get bored so easily. And they're really always looking for an escape from their reality. So why not? Why shouldn't they discover fire by themselves? Huh? High school. You like it? I think high school is the most exciting part of our lives. I don't know why. It was for me. Maybe it is for you. But during this time, we grow into our adult bodies, and we realize that soon we will be forced into the real adult world, where, of course, we have so much freedom, but also responsibility, which are so real, you know. We always want to escape reality, that is for sure, but as adults, we have to live in a real world. Well, we do escape reality sometimes. We go to a movie, we do other things as adults too, but we do follow our responsibilities. We also, in high school, have to identify a passion of what we want to do for the rest of our lives. That means a profession. We have to choose what we want to do for the rest of our lives. As she said, you know, we have to have some passion inside, or we do it because our mom said, or the society is asking us, or there's a workforce needed in computers, or, I don't know, business. It's hard to choose. Some people are so lucky to know from the get-go what they want, and they just follow it, and there's no stress. But some have this turmoil. They still don't know what to choose. They're in between arts, science, business. Of course you want to make money, you know, why not? But you love to paint, or you love to sing, and she sings so well. But you do have to choose one single profession. You have to apply to one university. And which one, you know, it's always that huge case. In my case, it was not that easy because during communism, we had a few possibilities, and the main one was mathematics. So that's what I was studying. And while I was studying, I always tried to escape my world. And the only escape was to write it myself. Well, if you want to pursue a sports career, that is the hardest thing, because what are you going to do after the age of 35? You know, it's difficult. Olympics, from ancient times, the Olympic flame represents the young spirit of competition and bravery of pushing the limits. And who else, if not teenagers, are in all the Olympics that we're watching every 4 years, or actually every 2 years, Winter and Summer Olympics. Nadia Comaneci was 14 when she impressed the whole world with her perfect 10 performance in Montreal. Most of the golden medalists are not older than 18. So this is it. The Olympics of our lives happen now, between 14 and 18. This is when you are the strongest, the most neurons. The scientists discovered that actually our neurons stop multiplying at age 13, and that's scary. But you do have to use as much as you can. This period is empowering. And in a way, you feel so self-confident sometimes, and sometimes you don't. But believe me, self-confidence is the biggest gift that you could have in life. I would say sexiest, but in a sense that you look so strong when you're self-confident. You don't even have to be so beautiful or wear beautiful clothes, but you are self-confident, and you are with this confidence on the street or in class, or you deliver this great answer for your teachers in class. But not only among yourselves, in the groups, some of you don't feel very confident. And how do you discover that confidence? By yourself. Imagine you are going home tonight, and tomorrow morning you are 45, okay? Now bear with me, 45 is not that scary. But let's say you have a career, you have a family, you have children of your own, and you're happy. Most of your dreams fulfilled, you know? You go to work, you come back, life is good. yet something from your youthful enthusiasm is gone. It's just gone. That teenage Olympic that pushes boundaries and always wants to achieve the impossible is gone. Unless you're Elon Musk and you're still having fun playing with electrical cars and rockets and flamethrowers. Yeah, flamethrowers. Some voices accuse him for being too much like a teenager. Well, how about 67-year-old enthusiastic teenage spirit Richard Branson? Teenagers are not really that bad. We can't really behave like a teenager all our lives, or can we? For me, teenage indeed was the most exciting part of my life. I did not love studying math and physics, but I was very good at least algebra. And I had to apply to a university which was back then the most popular, Polytechnica, you know, math and physics. And I hated it. My dream was to be an actress, or at least I thought it was. So during my studies, all I did was trying to escape reality. How do you escape reality? You don't have phones, you don't have internet, you don't have anything, you're locked in your room. Okay, so you could read books, but those are somebody else's reality. And how to empower your self-confidence by reading somebody else's reality? You just write your own. I don't know how much you kids like to write, essays or things for school. But writing for yourself, at least for me, was a huge empowering trick. So every piece of paper I had was instantly filled with something when I was getting bored. And I never dreamt to become a writer, ever. I wanted to reach Hollywood and other dreams, crazy dreams, of course. But not writing. Except what was I doing every day was writing every single piece of paper I found. And here it is. I mean, in a way it's a bit of a joke, but you know, we love to take selfies, yes? How about we take some selfies with a pen and not with your phone? And these are my selfies in chocolate boxes. They're as old as I am. And they look like this, writing on paper. And I have not millions, but thousands of them. So when my own daughter reached teenage, Raven, she's in your school, I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going to be a teenager. She's going to be in high school soon. What do I do? How do I teach her to be confident, you know? So I'm like, I'm going to give her these papers, and she's going to read them. She's like, Mom, I can't even read your writing. And I'm like, oh, that's super sad, because I want my daughter to know what I wrote when I was her age, you know? And what did I do? I just go and I put them on a computer and I said, okay, I'll type them and then she'll read them. But there's a language barrier. You kids prefer English, not Romanian. So I was like, what do I do now? I translate them. So I start translating them, and here it comes. My selfie from my teenage years is this little book. And the idea to become published was also my daughter's. She said, now that you put them on a computer and they're in such nice form, why don't you give them to an editor and just print them? And some of them passed the test and they're in a book. But yes, they're poems and they're little essays and little stories, and some of them are freakishly naive and some of them are so serious and sad, because one of the scariest things for me back then was the fact that, yes, we are mortal. Wow. You know, you come to your own mortality and realize that you're not here forever. You're just for 90 plus 140 years. And that was it. I was angry with time, and that was my biggest enemy. So I didn't write Star Trek, but I wrote a few poems and a few stories. And here it is. I actually think it will empower you in a way to write your own stories. And believe me, if you write anything, like, okay, give yourself 10 minutes or a few minutes by yourself with no gadgets, no internet, and I know it sounds terrifying, But with a piece of paper and a pen or whatever and write, you don't know where that takes you. And it's not an assignment, it's not for school, it's just for yourself. It will take you somewhere where in the future, when you go back and see your selfies, and you see yourself so young and so beautiful, and you want to also know how you were thinking, you read your selfie thoughts and selfie mind, and that will give you extra juice. And just tonight, when you go home, ask your parents if they have anything hidden in their drawers, and if it's any value of, sharing with you and empowering you from their own writing. It will be, I think, fantastic for a good crossing from generations. Thank you so much. It was a short speech. I'm so happy that you take your own selfie, please.